back, Talk family, and thank you so much for joining me on another episode of Talk the Talk. I'm your host, Charnel Bauer, and joining me today is Scott Skinner, and he is the dealer principal at Kia Edenvale. Now, Scott can be described as passionate about the motor industry. He uses his role as dealer principal to his advantage in supporting women empowerment in all aspects of life, but especially at his dealership. He is full of life, motivated, and an amazing team player. So, without further ado, let's welcome Scott. And as always, this interview is proudly brought to you by Sarita Solutions, MFC, and Avo by Nedbank. Hi, Scott.
Hi, Chanel.
How are you?
I'm great, thank you. Yourself?
Good. Scott, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much for showing your support for what we do as women and trying to empower the women out there.
It's only a pleasure, and I look forward to the next couple of minutes chatting to you.
Thank you. Scott, we want to start off by having you tell our viewers more about yourself and your position or your journey in the motor industry.
Perfect. I'll try and keep it short and sweet, as we said. So currently I'm the dealer principal at Kia Edenvale. Very proud dealer principal. I think 2022 we won Kia Dealer of the Year. So it's definitely a feather in our hat.
Wow, that's amazing.
So yeah, it's all down to teamwork. Teamwork, disciplines, and things like that make looking after customers sort of a pleasure for us. About myself, really started in the motor industry quite late. I think like most of my colleagues that you've probably interviewed before, we all joined by default into the motor trade.
We didn't choose it, it chose us.
100%.
Yes.
I was previously in the travel industry, which was so much more fun, but not as rewarding. So you got to see a lot of good places. But, being a dealer principal has been an amazing sort of chapter in my life because you get to meet a lot of different people. First of all, your staff. I think they get you to where you are. You sit there in the dealer principal's office, but there's a lot of, like at my dealership, 38 staff that make you look good. So you're the helm for everybody, and you get to do interviews like this, and you get to go to the awards. But bottom line, it's the workers all the way from the cleaners through to the admin people, to the sales staff, to the finance managers, salesmen. It's a massive team effort. So it's really been, like I say, I got into the game late, 11 years ago. But it's been fun. It's been good. It's been challenging. Obviously, people management is 90% of my work, and then satisfying customers. That's what I love to do. I love dealing with customers.
Yeah.
You're dealing with an important part of their life with purchasing a vehicle, and it's nice to be part of that journey.
Yes, making that dream come true.
Yeah, 100%. It's not their house, but it's the next biggest one, and then you must make sure that we give. We treat them all the same, no matter what they're buying.
Yes. Scott, what do you love most about representing the Kia brand? Yeah. Did you start off with Kia 11 years ago, or did you represent other brands?
So I represented other brands, and also Korean brands. So Hyundai. I started my career at Hyundai as a salesperson.
Okay.
A very old salesperson. Looking around the room, there was a lot of youngsters and looking at me saying, "What the heck is this man doing here?" But that's how, like I said, it chose me.
Yeah.
I moved into premium brands, and then came back to the Korean brands. And it's really, if I look at Kia, the logo movement that inspires pretty much dictates everything what I believe in it. It's such an amazing brand. Been around in South Africa for about 25 years, and gone from a no-name Korean brand to being in the top 10 in the world. Which is really something to be proud of.
Yes,
trying to get 5% market share, and so it's just constantly evolving. The new products. If you look at our vehicles now compared to 10 years ago, it's chalk and cheese, and that's the movement that we're having in our entire group globally. It's phenomenal.
And they do cater for everyone.
100%.
There's a vehicle for everyone, and the SUVs, the hatchbacks. There's every different price range. They do cater for everyone.
100%. From our entry level vehicles all the way through to the premium. Nobody's ever looked at our brand as a premium brand, and not slowly. I think very rapidly we're getting into that premium market. We don't want to be known as a cheap brand, and we want people to get value for their money, from first time buyer all the way through to the guys that have driven luxury cars all their lives.
most definitely. And Scott, you being a very big championing for our initiatives, what do you do to empower your women in your dealership?
I think like you've mentioned, it's an industry that women don't get involved in quickly, or like early on, and predominantly maybe in an admin role. But I think we need to, for me, it's really about getting them into sales positions. It's been predominantly a male industry, and I think I've worked with very successful women and women that have been on your show that have become DPs, and I think it's that progression. I want them to start in sales. Yes, it's difficult. It's a tough industry. There's a lot of dealerships, there's a lot of brands, there's a lot of salespeople in the country. But if they, like everybody, I mean, for me to move this quickly, it was hard work, and I believe that the progression going from a salesman to a sales manager, and then there's no stopping. It doesn't. There's no woman or no man that's a dealer principal. It's to make sure that they understand there can be a progression. It's not just a sales position to get to something, to earn a bit of money, to live a little bit more comfortably. It's about taking it to the full step. I think, and to realize what I get to realize about dealing with people, staff, and with customers. It's an awesome experience. So.
The motor industry is ever evolving, and it is fast paced, and you have to, learn to adapt and grow with it, most definitely.
Sure.
Scott, what is your opinion about our women empowerment initiatives? Just to name a few, the Motoring Women of the Year Awards, Talk the Talk Studios, our, motivational workshops that we do, which is powered by MFC and ever by Nedbank.
It's awesome to see. We don't see enough of it. I think by what the initiatives that you guys do on social media and all the other events and things like that, it gets women to see that there is a lot of potential in the industry. Yes. You can succeed. Like I say, there's a lot of women in our industry that have become dealer principals through sticking it out. When I say it like that, I mean it in obviously a nice way. It's because it's a tough industry. When they probably started, it was predominantly male, and we need to change it, because me sitting at home, I got my wife and I got 3 daughters.
Wow. So you definitely have to be the change that you want to see.
100%. And you know what, obviously, like I say, in the motor industry, there was always a stigma attached to it, and I think it's your job, as what you guys do and what we do as well, and my job to show people that don't get there by default. Choose it as a career.
Yes.
It does teach you a lot, even from being a salesperson. Teaches women how to run their own business. You sit at your desk, you've got everything there, and you work it as your own business.
You can literally do anything in the motor industry. There is so many different roles that you can partake in and become.
100%. Like I say, a lot of women generally go to the admin position.
Yes.
I'd like to see a lot more, and I know us as Kia South Africa and Kia Edenvale, we interview a lot more women for positions. There's a lot more CVs coming through, so people are starting to open up to the idea of, okay, let me go into the industry. Even if I start in sales, I could progress to an accountant or a bookkeeper
and work your way up
to a dealer principal.
Yes, you can get experience in all of those roles to leading up to the dealer principal role.
And it doesn't stop by me. There's a regional position, there's a position at the importer level, there's an importer in the motors group, which is what we're part of. So there's really, it's not just, don't look at them, and I'm urging women not to look at it and say, it's a salesperson, it's a quick job to earn a bit of money. I'm in financial trouble. I think a lot of, like we say, it chooses us, and I want them to join it because they see a career in going forward.
I like that. I like that a lot. Scott, tell us, the men out there, how can they become more prominent in encouraging their women in their roles at their dealerships or their offices?
I think it's about talking more about it. Generally men stand around the bra, and the ladies sit and talk, So it's just encouraging each other that like for me, it's important that we do bring women into the industry, and have the same motivation and drive as we have. Interview more ladies, give them an opportunity. We tend to say, okay, they've got no experience. But I think that's our job. If they've got any sort of experience, sales experience, and like I said, we're trying to get a lot more people coming in, and I'm prepared to rather to teach somebody how to do the sales position, And I do that a lot in my dealership. Somebody comes in, I just need them to be fun, bubbly, excited about something, and you can teach them the sales part of it.
Yes. If you are a people's person and you've got that passion, you've got that drive, I mean, anything else besides that is teachable and learnable.
100%. And also for me, I don't want it to be a tick box. I don't want to sit here and have to say, oh, we're going to employ more women just because that's the whole outlook of what we're talking about and what Kia South Africa is talking about. I think it's important that we do it, we invest time, give them the training, because like in our business, in the sales environment, 70% of the job is on the job training,
yes.
And the rest
you learn as you go.
Kia South Africa do the basics training and all that sort of stuff, either online or in a classroom. So I just, you got to spend time. You got to spend time to coach and mentor those people and understand that there is lots of space for growth for women in our industry.
Scott, I really thank you so much for coming. I truly feel inspired by this session. I feel touched and moved, and I hope that the men and the women out there can feel the same way. So thank you so much for coming.
My pleasure, and thanks for your time.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Viewers, we would like to thank you for your continued support and encourage you to like and share our content. Our non-profit companies, the Motoring Woman of the Year Awards, powered by MFC and Evo by Nedbank, and the Talk Studios, sponsored by Sariti Solutions and Evo by Nedbank, are platforms aimed at empowering, uplifting, and celebrating the women of motoring South Africa. We are not just telling stories, we are changing lives. If you are searching for a new or pre-owned vehicle, please visit www.auto.evo.africa. We have a wide range of vehicles on sale for you to choose from, and we only advertise on behalf of reliable and trustworthy MFC accredited dealerships. This car listing portal is user-friendly, and you can also find vehicle reviews, car maintenance tips, and automotive advice, all courtesy of Talk Studios.
Ladies, whatever you do, do it with all your heart. Whether it's being a mother or cooking dinner or supporting a friend or even in your workspace, don't ever do anything half-heartedly. That's what will make you stand out from the rest. That's what will get you noticed in life. All these women who fought for women empowerment has done so wholeheartedly, and they were noticed and heard. So today, stand out from the rest and put your whole heart into whatever you do today, the whole day. If you do ordinary things with absolute involvement, you will become extraordinary. And that's a quote from Sadhguru. And with that, I would like to remind you that the question should never be, who's going to let me? It should always be, who's going to stop me?